What was the most memorable show that you did?
Damn. This one sticks out to me just because of the result of what happened in the event afterwards. I think it was in Radcliffe's class PP6. I did a UFC show. I was previewing UFC 2. I can't remember. It was 279 or not. It was the one it was the return to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for sure. Israel Adesanya, Alex Pereira, Masvidal versus Gilbert Burns. But I'm such a big Israel Adesanya fan that I love doing anything MMA is going to be my favorite show for sure. I just love the UFC. And I remember doing a story and prepping that story and writing that story and just being like, I have to take my bias out of this, but how do I write to this soundbite of Izzy? Just saying like, this is my Eminem moment. What if I butcher him and like all this stuff? And then he delivered and he knocked him out in the second round and all that stuff. So, I just love the inspiration that I can draw from a story like that. He's been beaten 3 times by the same guy and then comes back and knocks him out. Like that was incredible. The shows I did with other people as well, like the show I did with Nico was a lot of fun. The All Vegas show really meant a lot to me as well, for sure. But any chance I got to do, there was one I did. It was before I was in PP6. I was with helping somebody out on the show, and I called a UFC highlight when Dan was in the studio, and he gave me great feedback and said I did a really good job, and so that show sticks out for sure as well.
I remember when I was with you and Gabe, and we went down to the jungle and we did an interview with a fighter. Mm-hmm. And I remember I got kind of sentimental from that interview. What was that experience like when you did that interview with him?
It's motivating because, man, those guys, that training that sport is not easy, and they all have a real life. But I want to be in the fight game so bad. I want to be involved with the UFC so bad that. That's like a taste of what I want to do, on a more elaborate level. But, seeing these guys come up on the grind is just like inspiring, man. Like this guy's got a real life and a real job, but he's 29 years old chasing his dreams still just like me. You know what I'm saying? It just happens to be in one of the most violent sports in the world. So that was a lot of fun. I love talking to Alec. He was really cool and really opened up well. And, just hearing about martial arts, learning more about martial arts is just something that I'm always trying to do. But interviewing people's fun, man. Like learning about their story and connecting with them and just giving them a platform to like inspire other people is really special to me. And I loved that day. And Gabe setting that up and us going to the jungle is super fun because you think an MMA gym has like a lot of, hard heads and people with big personalities. It's like most of the nicest people in the world.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They just love the martial arts and what the martial arts stand for, discipline and respect and all those things just really impacts, them as a person. And I thought Alec exemplified that pretty well.
I was glad to be a part of that teamwork because I was sitting on my butt holding the mic up so he could get it right. I love that teamwork right there. But the last month in the program, you get the Rishi's class, and it's the last month. What was going through your mind when it's the last month I'm actually at Full Sail University as a student?
It's hard to even imagine you're at the last month because like you just finished the last class like 2 days before that. And then you just start the last month, you're like, bro, I got like 4 weeks left. But I had worked with Rishi on a plethora of different things throughout the program. We did the Pop Warner show together. I had helped on 4 or 5 of his finals, being an analyst for different people. And so I knew Rishi was going to have a super high level expectation for me. And he held me to that standard from the first day until the last day. And he challenged me every single day. Like, he never let me take a day off or never let me, do a take that wasn't my best. He pushed me to a level that I didn't know I was going to get to. I thought I was already at a really solid level, and then Rishi put me at an even higher level. I just think he's an elevator. He's he knows what he's looking at, and he knows how to help you, and he knows how to give you confidence as well as giving you feedback at the same time. So I was so excited to start that class and grind every day in the studio and learn from a guy like Rishi who's been in our business for so long. And so that was an incredible month. Like, that was truly an incredible month. And Rishi's, one of the best guys that I know and has really helped me.
Real quick, I want to say thank you, Rishi, because he looked at my contract. When I got my contract from CBS 44, he didn't know me from the can of paint. And I walked up to him, asked him for help looking at my contract, and he looked through it and gave me some big help. But how did he elevate you? Because I know you said previously, like, you felt he was at a level, and he got you even up through there. How did he elevate you?
Yep. So just little things like writing, like taking my writing to an even another level. How to like inflecting and how to inflect in certain situations, like in where to inflect. Those were really big, impactful things. And then just like my confidence and presence on camera and stuff like that. And then my highlights. He took my highlights to a whole nother level again, which was really cool. It's the nuanced things. It's the little things that like you don't see, but somebody who's been in the business for 15 years sees every day. And so he would see these little things that I didn't notice, but then I'd watch him back and be like, damn, like if I clean that up, like we're going even higher. And so that was really fun. And he's just so supportive about, you know what I mean, what you're good at. And he's like, dude, you can even do this. Like he even gives you like ideas. He's like, but what if you did it like this? And you're like, damn, like that's a good idea. You know what I mean? And he's just trying to always elevate you and push you even more out of your comfort zone because he knows you're good enough. You know what I mean?
I know I didn't talk about rundown creators, TRTs, and things like that, but I want you to expand on those things. You don't have to go into like super duper detail because that'd be a whole 4-hour class. But what is I'm just asking like this because I don't want to do a closed-ended question. What is a rundown creator and how do you run it? And I just did a double barrel.
Rundown creators is like the show layout, you know, software that we use. You know, you put your entire show together in there, you put your scripts in there, you put your roll commands, you put your, you know, what shots you're using and different stuff like that. I mean, it's how a show is built. You can't do a TV show without rundown creator or something similar to rundown creator. So, I mean, putting those together is like super important because you like it helps you produce your shows in a way. But rundown is not a hard thing to learn once you start making enough shows.
So I'm just gonna give you this scenario right quick. It's the last month in the program. You've seen us a day. I think you've seen us maybe a week before or a couple days before, and it's your last show for the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting. What's going through your mind when you're walking to behind the desk and it's the last time? Like this is a sign-out show.
Man, it was hard to keep my emotions in check because I was so excited to do my show because I know I'd put a banger of a show together. But I was also just like, damn, like I've watched a lot of people do their last show. I can't believe like it's my turn. It was fun. It was emotional for sure. But it was special. I mean, like I put in the work and like at that point you're ready. You're like, man, I can get paid to do this stuff now. Like this is cool doing my last show here, but like I'm ready to go get paid to make these shows. So it was really special. I'll never forget that day and just giving away the jacket to Tyreek and, you know, saying thank you to my friends and family and everybody that helped me out. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
That was so dope. I got a question I want to get to, but I want to ask this one before. You had an interesting bunch of classmates. Mm-hmm. Ethan, Malcolm. I don't want to act like I remember everybody's name, but shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Don't beat me up when you see me now. What was the experience with the classmates? Different batch of guys. Jake.
I think there's something you can learn from everybody. Everybody's got a different skill set. Everybody's got a different outlook on how they approach things. You know, I learned something from everybody and took something away from everybody. I can't say like I was super close with everybody or anything like that, but I think it's important to have like teammates don't hang out outside of the court, but like when it's on the floor, it's about one common goal. And I felt like our class had one common goal, and that was, you know, getting better every day and reaching a new level. And, you know, I really appreciate those guys. They were super supportive, you know, throughout the program and a good, you know, they provided a lot of like laughter and stuff like that. You know, keep it lighthearted and stuff like that. So I always appreciated that. And like every one of them, I could have a conversation about a different sport with. You know, if I wanted to talk football, I'd go, you know, talk to Jake. If I want to talk basketball, I'd talk to, you know, Malcolm or Ethan or Rick or anybody like that. And, you know, if I want to talk soccer, I'd talk to Rick. If I want to talk football or MMA, you know, I'm talking to Ethan. So it was a good outlet for me for sure. And, you know, I hope I helped them, you know, in some way, shape or form as well, because they, you know, certainly helped get me through some tough days or days that I just didn't want to be at class.
Remember when I walked in y'all last show, you know, I sat in there for 2 hours and I heard all of y'all give those speeches one by one, but you batted last. Yep. You batted last and you gave a speech. And just real quick, I started to record, but the speech was just so legendary that I had to just let my man rock. What was the speech?
Yeah, it was a super emotional, you know, time or just a speech. I wasn't planning on getting that emotional, but I think oftentimes like throughout the 20 months or whatever, people would see like a super outwardly confident person, but like, man, we all struggle inside with confidence issues. And you know, I mean, a lot of people didn't really know my story and kind of where I came from and the struggles of just some things I put myself through, some bad decisions, and having to recover from those and dealing with the mental health issues and stuff like that. I thought it was important for a lot of the people in the building to see like, hey man, like just because I'm really good at this or because I'm super confident in myself, like doesn't mean like I didn't struggle like mightily to get here, and like this moment doesn't mean like a whole lot to me. And so yeah, I wasn't planning on getting emotional. I did get motivational at the end. I challenged people, which is important to me. I think whenever you think you've reached like a level that like you can never be satisfied, you always have to be looking for that next level and looking to get better each day. And I wanted to, you know, just let everybody know like, hey, like you guys may all think this, that, or the other, but like I promise you, like I love this like every day, and I'm willing to work for it every single day. And I thought it was important for people to see like, man, he doesn't just do it in class, like he's really trying to live this life. And I wanted to let them know like, hey, like that's how hard you're gonna have to be willing to work if you're gonna compete in the industry, because like there's people like me all over the place. There's people like you that are older. We don't got another option. Like this is it. Like we're in it. We're in it to be in it. You know what I mean? We're not going back. So it was just important to me for them to see just a different side and know that like we're all human, man. Like I'm not some robot that just has a mustache and doesn't talk to the people that I don't like. You know, like when I'm in the studio, I'm focused on one thing, and that's having, you know, a fantastic show and, you know, performing at my highest level, and also making sure that everybody else is comfortable, you know. And it's not really my job to worry about how other people are perceiving me, because if you want to have a conversation with me, I promise you I'll have a conversation with you. But if you're not going to speak to me and then you're going to make an opinion about me, like I don't really do that. You know, that ain't how I roll. But I just thought it was important for a lot of those kids to just see just a different side of me.
I really appreciate you sharing that side of you, because I mean, a lot of people, you know, you do so well. A lot of people just see the confident side of you. And as a soldier with PTSD who has mental health issues of himself, bro, like that speech really resonated with me myself, and I'm glad I got a picture with you that I'm definitely going to put in the B-roll. But the bit day comes around, you put on the gown, you put on everything, and you walk across the stage. And I remember you did something very memorable when you went across the stage. What did you do when you walked across the stage?
Welcome to Snoody Podcast.